What's going on, everyone? My name is Mr. Hat, and it is Shark Week, everybody. So it's time to talk about sharks. I already did a review for the Jaws movies. I did my Jaws ranking. I did a review for 47 Meters Down. And I just don't have enough time to review all kinds of shark movies and just splurge and just buy all kinds of shark movies and watch them all and upload quick reviews. So I'm just going to narrow it down to just these little brief reviews in this top 5 shark movies with 3 honorable mentions. So let's kick off the top of this list with number 5. And keep in mind, I have not seen every single shark movie. I've only seen a handful, and they're on this list. So other ones that I don't mention, I have not seen. So don't be like, I can't believe you left out The Reef. But anyways, number 5, Shark Night. This is a movie that I saw in theaters back in 2012, 2013, somewhere around there. 2011, I would say 2011, 2012. It's been a while. But this was directed by the late David R. Ellis, who directed Final Destination 2 and The Final Destination. Ugh. But that name alone got me on board, and it was a 3D shark movie. It's PG-13. Ugh, another thing that sucks. But I was like, alright, sharks in a lake? How's that work? So definitely interested to go see it. So saw this in theaters in 3D, I think. And it was fun. And I only seen it once or twice since then. I own it now, and I saw it when I bought it. And it's dumb, but it's not taking itself so serious. It's kind of serious, but not too much. The characters are just, the reboot of Friday the 13th type characters. They're just the partiers. They're from college. They're going to this girl's cabin, and they're going to have a blast, and then all of a sudden there's sharks in the water. And I love the premise of this movie. If you haven't seen it, go watch it, and then come back to this. But I love the premise, because the premise is these 3 people are obsessed with Shark Week and how much money it makes every year. So they're like, we'll take sharks and put cameras on them, release them in the water, and we'll film actual deaths and release it on the dark web and get money somehow. I don't know. But they have some plan to make money. So, of course, money is a motivating factor, like a lot of cliche action movies where money is always the motivating thing. But I just like that premise because it's different. I haven't seen it before. You get some decent gore or some pretty creepy looking sharks, and this one is a variety of sharks. You got a great white tiger that looks creepy as fuck. I'm sure the CG is a little dated, but there's all these different sharks, and you get to learn some stuff. I just think this movie was shot kind of visually cool too. I mean, yeah, the premise is kind of dumb with the whole how they threw salt water in this lake, and somehow these sharks are surviving in there. But you get past that, it's a decent shark movie. It's not terrible from my last memory of it, so I'll have to watch it again. But I just saw it not too long ago, 6 months ago. It's okay, so that's why it's my number 5. Number 4 is going to a movie that was for the longest time hailed as the best shark movie since Jaws, and it was a movie that was my number 2 until the last 5 years when we got way better shark movies that came out. Not Sharknado. You won't see Sharknado on this list. But that is Deep Blue Sea. This was the best shark movie since Jaws. For the longest time, since 1975 to 1999, what did you have? Jaws 2, 3, and 4. Anything else? Not really. If there was, it was probably foreign made and no one watched it in America. So finally, we got Deep Blue Sea. And this one has an interesting premise too. They got this big old scientific facility out in the middle of the ocean, west of California, somewhere out there. And they're trying to find a cure to Alzheimer's. Ugh, can't speak today. But they accidentally make these sharks smarter, and there's 3 of them. So just like 47 Meters Down, I like that there's more sharks, so it adds to the threat. And just like the movie Crawl, every single layer of this facility keeps getting flooded, so they have to keep going up and up and up. So it just adds more tension. You got Thomas Jane in here, the Punisher. One of my favorite Marvel. Is it Marvel? It's one of my favorite comic book movies. I think it's Marvel, yeah. It's got LL Cool J. It's got that rapper. This came out late 1990s, early 2000s. Rappers in every horror movie you can find. Red Man, Seed of Chucky, Halloween Resurrection, you know who. So this one has that rapper, but he's actually okay in this movie. He's the comic relief character, and he's got that parrot, and I like their back and forth. So there's just the one character who seems annoying and kind of hokey, and that's the guy who knows all the numbers and statistics. I forget who he's played by, but he's Thomas Jane's friend. he just seemed annoying the last time I watched it. And I wasn't crazy about the main actress's performance, but she's beautiful. But it's got one of the biggest surprise deaths ever. But Samuel L. Jackson, the way he goes, everyone remembers that scene.
First, we're gonna seal off this movie.
And it's directed by Rennie Harlin too, who did Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and Die Hard 2 and one of those other movies, whatever. But this movie has lots of little iconic scenes in it, and it's just awesome. So that's why it's my number 4. Number 3 goes to 47 Meters Down. There was a movie that I had at 3, and this one was like 2, and I switched them, and then I switched them again. These went back and forth. These are almost like just tied. So I kind of go back and forth on these next two. But number 3, 47 Meters Down, I just did a review for this a week or two ago. There's a sequel coming out in about a week or two, so can't wait to see that. Hope it's as good, if not better. We can only hope, right? 47 Meters Down, this movie doesn't focus on the sharks that much. It focuses on these two characters that are sisters, and they're just stuck at the bottom of the ocean, and not only are there sharks that are a threat, but the lack of oxygen. So it's constantly building tension from scene to scene, and they change up. They're not just stuck in a cage the whole time. One of them can get out, and they go over here, and then they're in this like vast open area where you can't see shit in a 360. Lots of tension building in this film. It's also visually cool looking, like the way it's shot in the first act when they're like establishing like their condo resort in Mexico, the beaches. It all looks pretty beautiful. But yeah, it's a fun thrill ride. It doesn't have shark carnage. It doesn't have a lot of deaths in it. It's PG-13. But you do get this, spoiler alert, dream sequence at the end where there's a sweet shark attack, and then there's like blood and like a prosthetic on her leg, and it's like a big old flab. I think, or is that the shout? Is that the other one? Whatever. I think it's in this one. But it's pretty good. This movie has lots of tension, and the CGI and the sharks is actually pretty good. So 47 Meters Down is my number 3. Number 2 goes to The Shallows. This one, just like 47 Meters Down, it's PG-13, but it builds tension. It focuses on the main character, played by Blake Lively, and she is just by herself. This is a one-person, one-setting movie, so it was probably made very cheap, but it's visually stunning. It's shot beautifully by the same director of Taken, I think. Was it Taken? I believe so. But this guy shoots it beautifully. There's all kinds of cool shots, things that you can make like a wallpaper on your computer. And the shark is pretty good in most of it. And they kill it in a corny, little cheesy way, but I like that it's different. I like that they kill the shark, not by blowing it up. And Blake Lively is excellent from beginning to end. I love that they insert all this like backstory to her so we know her. And she's basically going there because her mom used to go on that beach, but her mom's dead. And she's a nurse in training, but she quit the field because her mom died of cancer. So then it's like, she's like, what's the point of learning about medicine if medicine's not even going to save my mom or something like that? And then at the end of the movie, she has an arc where she's like, I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to be a nurse again. I'm going to reconnect with my family. And just, like the shark attack totally improves her life. So it's like a blessing in disguise. It needed to happen. Because otherwise, who knows what would have happened with her life. But this movie is just great from beginning to end. Stylistically beautiful. The way it's shot. The shark. And it's just a fun movie. So, The Shallows, my number 2. Now, before we go to my number 1, here's 3 quick honorable mentions. First up, we got Bait. I've probably seen this movie once, and I don't remember much that happens. But from the trailer, I think this movie was corny and probably decent fun, maybe. It's one movie that I have seen. Like I said, I haven't seen a lot of shark movies, so I gotta throw something in here. So Bait will go in this list, because I think some people like it. My second honorable mention will be The Meg. This movie was my number 1 disappointment of 2018, because there's hardly any shark carnage. There's cringy comedy, and this weird relationship between Jason Statham and this Asian woman, who I don't know her name. But it's just dumb. Jason Statham does not belong in this movie. He was not utilized well, and it's just PG-13 nonsense. This movie has hardly any blood at all compared to The Shallows and 47 Meters Down. This movie has barely any carnage for a like 70-foot shark. So it's a disappointment, but it's okay enough. So there, it's in my honorable mentions. And my third and final honorable mention will be Jaws 2. the sequel. Just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water. This one is okay. It's pretty boring in the middle. It's got a slow pace. It's got dumb stock characters that you don't care about. But the shark kills are alright. The shark looks menacing and looks creepy in some spots, especially when it gets like the scar on its face, so it kind of like adds a personality to it, makes it evil looking. But other than that, there's not too much going on for this movie. It was an unnecessary sequel and it spawned an unnecessary franchise, but compared to the rest that came after it, this is a shark movie that I think is worth mentioning. So I'm throwing it in here in an honorable mention, because some people do love it. And of course, my number one is Jaws. I've already said a lot about this movie in my Jaws review and my Jaws ranking, so I'm not going to repeat myself again. It's a great movie, great tension. Steven Spielberg directing it, did a fantastic job for his like second or third movie. The characters, Roy Scheider, Richard Dreyfuss, and the third guy whose name I'm blanking on because I'm on camera right now, but I would remember it. Robert Shaw. Yeah, there we go. The score by John Williams, iconic. Lots of iconic shit about this movie. It's bloody. It creeped me out as a kid. It's awesome. It's got a pretty decent pace. The first half is kind of slow-ish, but the second half is pretty fun, and the characters and their dynamic together. Jaws is a must-see film for everybody, and it's the number one shark movie that I watch every year. It's a staple. Every summer, gotta watch it, and it's my number one shark movie of all time. And that's my top 5 shark movies of all time. Put your top 5 shark movies in the comments below. I'd be interested to see if anybody puts Sharknado down there, or 2, or 3, or 4, or 5. How many are they gonna make? Clownnado? What's that about? Is that sharks dressed like clowns? Is there unicorn sharks? Santa Jaws? Have you seen Santa Jaws? I saw that, unfortunately. Whew. Lots of bad shark movies out there. There's more bad ones than good ones, and that's sad. We need to change that quick. If you like what you see here, you can hit this like button over here. I really appreciate it. And you can follow me on my social media. I got social media links in the description box below. And consider becoming a subscriber today just by clicking on my cartoon face in about 5 seconds. And until next time, auf Wiedersehen.